the woman is the first teacher of the child. Now, a woman defined in the Webster's Dictionary is a female human being capable of becoming pregnant. So, fertility is the sole measure of womanhood. Once a female child, starts her menses, she therefore becomes a woman. Now, a woman goes through 9 months of pregnancy. And during those 9 months, the child is able to feel, hear, eat, and is virtually learning everything from within the woman, from within the womb. From the time of conception to about 10 weeks is when a child's organs begin to develop, and some of the organs even begin to function. And from 10 weeks to about the second trimester, at about 14 weeks or so, the child is now swallowing fluids and kicking. The vital organs like the kidneys and the intestines and the brain and liver are in place and starting to function. You'll notice that the fetus will have the beginnings of nails on their fingers and toes, and also you'll notice this little peach fuzz that Elle still has a little bit of is starting to form. And the child's limbs can bend now, and the outline of the spine is visible. In the coming weeks, the child will double in size. Now, at about 14 to 18 weeks, the child can squint, frown, grimace, pee, and possibly suck his thumb. Thanks to brain impulses, the child's facial muscles are getting a workout, and their tiny features form one expression after another. The spleen is helping produce red blood cells, the liver starts making bile, and the kidneys start to produce urine. Now, halfway through the second trimester, at about 22 weeks, the child is about a pound and looks like a miniature newborn. The lips and eyelids and eyebrows are becoming more distinct and developing tooth buds in their gums. The eyes have formed, the pancreas is developing, and the pancreas produces vital hormones that soon will help in the development of the fetus. At about 28 weeks, the beginning of the third trimester, the child has doubled in size, and they're blinking and have eyelashes. Eyesight is starting to develop, where the child can actually see light that's filtering through the womb. So if the child is actually seeing light that's filtering through the womb, just think of what else the child is hearing, is feeling, is sensing. The child is developing billions of neurons in the brain at this time. And at about 32 weeks, the child starts to fatten up, and that's for the beginning of survival for outside of the womb. The child has real hair now, and the skin is becoming soft and smooth. Soft and smooth. At about 36 weeks, the child weighs about 6 pounds, and the child starts to turn to where his head is facing down so that way he can prepare for childbirth. At about 38 weeks, the child is pretty plump and can survive if born early. They have a firm grasp. The organs have matured and are ready for life outside of the womb. And the eye pigment starts. So after your 36th week of pregnancy, the child can be born at any time. So as the child is developing in the woman's womb, the child is exposed to whatever the woman is exposed to. So if the woman exposes her fetus to enlightenment, to light, to knowledge while the baby or the child is in the womb, more than likely the child will be born and grow into enlightenment. If the child is exposed to the fast-paced life, smoking, drugs, alcohol, clubbing and running around, more than likely the child will come out and do the same as what he was exposed to, or what the child was exposed to during being in the womb. Also, if you expose your fetus or your child to smoke, to alcohol, to drugs, the chance of development of the fetus is slack. You have chances of the child being born deformed. So, if the woman is the first teacher of the child, in what I have learned is that it's best to expose your child to love, to light, to enlightenment while in the womb. Now, this child here, what's your name?
DEVINE.
El? What's your whole name?
SHADDAI DEVINE.
Great. And what does El Shaddai mean?
God Almighty.
Great. Now, you have a paper here on the side. Can you show us that paper? What writing is that?
Hebrew.
Can you read that to us or tell us what that means?
Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey.
Oh, and what does that mean?
It means perfect heaven.
It means Yahweh?
Yeah.
It means Yahweh. Great. So that writing there is Hebrew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. What else can you say in Hebrew?
The Tefillah.
Great. And what were you just saying just a second ago?
To mean Shamim Baruch Shem Yahweh.
Great. What does that mean?
It means perfect heaven.
Blessed be the name Yahweh.
Blessed be the name Yahweh.
That's great. So right there is an example of the woman being the first teacher of the child. What your child learns while in the womb and also while they are growing up is what the woman teaches them. If you teach your child the fast-paced life, drugs, alcohol, rock and roll, more than likely that's how your child is going to be raised. If you teach your child enlightenment, love, light, Yahweh, Hebrew, etc., then your child is going to conform to that, is going to want to learn that. So the sooner that you expose your child in the womb to the light, to Yahweh, and to enlightenment, the sooner and easier it will be when your child is born and further on down when they start to grow up, to teach them the right way to be. You have anything to say, El Shaddai? Great. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Yahweh ben Yahweh.